So the attorneys for Jussie Smollett say that he felt victimized by reports that he staged his own attack. As Chicago police have now released two brothers after questioning, saying they no longer are suspects in the case. These news reports suggesting the actor may have paid the brothers to stage the attack. And some media outlets that were quick to embrace the version are now backing away. Howard Kurtz, host of Media Buzz, also our Fox News media analyst. How you doing, Howie? Good morning to you. I know you're doing the story over the weekend on your show on Sunday. Where do you think we are today?
Well, there are plenty of people, Bill, who recklessly rush to judgment over this in politics, media, and entertainment. For example, Washington Post opinions editor said this heinous attack reminds us that Trump's ascendance and the resulting climate of hate has meant many people lives have been increasingly at stake since 2015. Actress Ellen Page went on television and said we should connect the dots between Mike Pence and homophobic attacks. I'm waiting for her apology to the vice president. And among the 2020 Democrats, Kamala Harris and Cory Booker both called it a modern-day lynching, in other words, accepting it all as fact. But I would argue that most news organizations actually acted with restraint, these particular examples aside.
How did you see that? How have you reported on that, Howard?
Well, first of all, you know, a guy who's a star in the Fox show Empire makes these, terrible sounding accusations. You have to report that. The Chicago police were taking it seriously and investigating, and you have to report that. Now, you and I and many other people in the business knew that something about this didn't smell right from the beginning. There were things that didn't add up, but that's not enough to go on the air or write. In fact, I resisted invitations to do that because the situation was so murky. But the media also reported, various organizations, the red flags that came up. Why did he delay in reporting the attack? Why did Jussie Smollett not quickly turn over his phone? And so we began to see the shift, but until recent days, I don't think we had enough evidence to say this was some kind of hoax.
Interesting. A few things I'll throw in here. Donald Trump Jr. over the weekend tweeted this: strange that no one in Hollywood or the mainstream media seems to want justice for Jussie anymore. Wonder what changed. David Webb was on with Brian earlier today and said the following about how he sees it at the moment. David Webb.
We've got all these different instances where the reality doesn't match the narrative. There's a blowback effect, though, Brian. When it comes to the country, we as Americans are starting to see this. We're starting to see that these incidents are being used to gin up hatred.
It's still difficult to know motivation or what happened here, Howie, but what about that point about ginning up hatred? Do you think
well,
that's
certainly
real?
any time, and we saw this with the Covington High School kids, where there's a reference to Trump, where there are MAGA hats or talk about MAGA country, many people who do not like this president seize on it and say, you see, it's his fault, it's the climate. The president's son had a point with his comments, but Donald Trump himself, when asked about this, said the attack was horrible at a time when we did not know. But I do think that if it hadn't been, I mean, look, the attack on a TV star would have been big news regardless. But when you add the extra nitroglycerin of a Trump element or a MAGA hat, it does seem a lot of people just put any skepticism aside and convict in advance. And this is another case, even though we still don't know everything, where that seems to be very
your big
ill-advised.
point here, some of the celebrities and politicians did not act with restraint in terms of reacting to the story. But a lot of
and some journalists
media,
too on Twitter.
But most, you characterize media organizations as acting with restraint.
I think that you couldn't go beyond the available facts, even though you could point out the holes. Look, the guy went on Good Morning America and told Robin Roberts in graphic detail how this happened. She asked him about the skepticism, and now that his lawyer is saying, oh, he's insulted that anyone's raising questions, well, I think it's pretty clear that the story has taken a dramatic turn.
Matt Finn reports for us in Chicago. Smollett's crisis manager telling Matt Finn that they're getting ready to release a statement today, and also not confirming that Jussie will meet with police today. So we'll see as developments go there. Nice to see you, Howie. Howie Kurtz there in Washington, D.C. Thanks.
Well, the social media giant